We're making it sizzle on this July 4th because we're talking dating and relationships and sex on this 4th of July. Here in the chat room, I'm with Smart Dating Academy founder Bela Gandhi and the CEO of 6 Brown Chicks, Zandra Hughes. Welcome, you guys.
Good morning.
I cannot wait to hear what you have to say. These are awesome topics, both for people who are single and looking for love over the holiday and those who are in a relationship. Let's start with that. Bringing the spark back. We were joking about it, saying getting the fireworks going again in your relationship, but it's true. It's an issue many couples face, Bela. You talk about this for us, some advice.
Oh, absolutely. Bring back the emotional connection into your relationship. Tell each other what's good about each other.
Yeah, it's funny because it sounds so simple, but so rarely is it done. You talk about what's bad about the other person. I hate it when you don't do this, but say, I love it when you do this.
Yes, be nice to each other, and if you have to, make a list of what you like about your partner. And then adhere to it and talk about it and tell him. It makes a huge difference.
Zandra, you got anything to add to that?
Role play, toys, having fun, dating. We don't date our partners the way we used to. Like in the beginning, we would date them to get them, but you have to keep them by dating and having fun with them.
Keep the love alive. All right, good advice.
Have date night.
Yeah, date nights are important too. You always talk about that, Bela. Let's talk about another changing relationship. There was recently an article in The Atlantic about how lesbian relationships are changing. They talked a lot about it on the show, the real L word, how lesbian couples all of a sudden move in together and they rush into relationships, and maybe that's a stereotypical view of these relationships. Zandra, what do you think about that?
Well, when I read the article, the first thing I thought was, are these black lesbians doing that? Because we have a tougher time in the black community because homophobia is just so strong. I don't know if they are able to live out loud and shack up and the U-Haul love the way you're able to. But I think it is happening. I think that if people are having fun with it, let them do it. It's great.
Bela, you have any advice on that?
You know, what I see in gay couples, especially in female relationships, is what's interesting is you remove the sort of gender identifications. In a lot of straight marriages, the men are supposed to do this and the women are supposed to do this. And I think with gay female couples, you see a very egalitarian, equal relationships. There's no assumptions about what the man's going to do and what the woman's going to do. So the responsibilities can be more equally split in the middle, leading to more satisfying.
Interesting way of looking at it. I guess I hadn't thought of it in quite that way. That is very interesting. Let's talk a lot about the single people who are out there this weekend. Everybody wants to have a honey next to them on their picnic blanket or when they watch the fireworks, right? Every holiday is tough to be single, and I remember those days when I just like dread it, if for no other reason that those were the times when your family decided to zone in on you and say, what's wrong with you? How come you don't have anybody? There's a lot of like calling out and guilt things, but what's your advice, Zandra? What do you tell people who are single?
Start accepting those invitations that you are receiving online. If it's something you would like to go to, and even if you don't have a friend to go. Step outside of your element. Absolutely.
It's hard for a woman, though, isn't it, to walk into a bar, an event alone, but you say, get over it.
Get over it. You know, if you find a certain someone, you're not going to have your friends in the relationship with that person, right? So you have to trust yourself. Use good judgment. Pick events where you know the person has thrown events before. You know, it's not any kind of craziness going on, and just go and have fun.
Now, you've held dating events. You've been part of many of them, Bela, as part of your work at Smart Dating Academy. What do you notice? What do you advise people?
Especially on holidays, there are so many invitations to barbecues, to picnic, to family events. Say yes to those today. 1/3 of marriages have sparked because of meetings between family and friends. So meaning you get introduced to your potential significant other by family or friends. So say yes to those events today. Go to that picnic, go to that barbecue. The weather's beautiful today.
It is gorgeous. There's no reason not to be outside, not to say yes. I want to ask you about love at first sight, because I used to cover the Holy Name Cathedral does the couples who are together for 50 years, these people who have successfully made it through 50 years of marriage. And I remember the one thing that always struck me when I interviewed them was they said, we knew right away. I heard that story so many times, and yeah, they were like 18 or 19 when they met, but still, they said, I saw her across the dance floor and I knew it was her. Do you believe in love at first sight? Because I feel like everyone I know is much more complicated than that, and we're like, no way do you know. You analyze and hyperanalyze absolutely everything.
I believe in lust at first sight. I don't know if love at first sight still exists, because now people can find out so much about you, you know, even before. So I'm not sure. I don't know.
Bella, what do you think?
What's interesting is that the study that we did this month, what that Smart Dating did with Match, is that 56% of Chicagoans do believe in love at first sight. And a lot of times when we do feel that rush of, oh my gosh, I'm weak in the knees, I can't stop thinking about this person, it's a chem lab going on in your brain of oxytocin and dopamine and serotonin and phenylethylamine. So your brain is awash in these chemicals. So while you're feeling that lust and you're feeling that connection, make sure that this person is compatible with you long term, that they're kind to you, that they are loyal, that they're consistent. So between the chem lab and the values, you should have fireworks.
I just had a friend who went on a first date. We set her up, and she told me, she asked him where he wants to live, what his intentions are, how many kids he wants to have, all those questions on the very first date. And I was like, I won't say her name.
That's
I was like,
too much.
Don't ask that. You got to give it some time. Do you agree, or is it just better to say, hey, I want to rule this person out immediately?
Totally agree with you. Don't put all of that on the table, because it's overwhelming. You know, he's meeting you or she's meeting you. They're not saying they want to move in. You know, they just want to know what's going on with you. Give it time, and then you're telling all your business anyway. It sounds kind of desperate.
Desperate, okay.
Yeah, too much.
And it
too
would
much
read that
too
way
soon.
to a man, you're saying.
You chase him off. You know, if a man sat down with you and said, hey, you know, I want a couple of kids from you, Anna, and I want you're gone, right?
Well, yeah, it does come on strong, and that was how it came across to me. She looked at it a different way. She said, look, there are certain things that are deal breakers, and if he is not on the same page as me, I want to know as soon as possible. I don't want to waste any time, is the way she looked at it.
I'm absolutely in the same boat as both of you. It's not a good idea to put that out there. Women tell me that. Don't you think it's a good idea to know that up front? I'm like, from a man's perspective, it's like, sit in our chairs, it's like a guy saying, okay, so when are we going to get to have sex?
Right. Because it's what's on their mind.
That's as attractive as that is to a guy. Don't do that.
That puts it in perspective. Bela Gandhi, Zandra Hughes, so good to see you guys. Happy 4th of July.
Yeah, thank you
for coming by on this holiday. Up next, we've got your day's top stories. We're grilling out on the plaza, and we've got more about the fireworks and the parades all across the Chicago area.